Call it what you will. The war of M24. It's the battle for the Double O Trophy. It's also Oxford against Lake Orion. We've got it all for you here on Orion Neighborhood Television. Pregame is underwritten by Malash's Palace, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Malash's Palace has been serving Lake Orion's automotive needs since the 1960s. Give them a call at 248 393 2222. Good evening, everyone. I'm Doug Corliss along with Chris Fritching. We are in the press box this time because we are visiting the navy blue AstroTurf at Oxford. It's our biannual road game for Orion Neighborhood Television. Chris, both teams come in at 1-5. Usually a game between two 1-5 teams doesn't garner a lot of interest, but this has got a lot going for it. The battle for the Double O Trophy, the war of M24, and if anything else, for team pride.
Oh, no question. I mean, you mentioned that Double O Trophy, which, you know, X number of years ago when this rivalry was established, it really brought that to the forefront. You're right. It's community pride, it's team pride, and when it's all said and done, it's personal pride too. You know, you can throw the records out of the window. Bottom line, this is a rivalry, and yes, both teams have struggled at 1-5, but you know darn well this is going to be a battle. There's a bragging rights. There's a lot at stake, and you know, in fact, a lot of these kids have over the years they've gotten to know each other through sports and school. The communities are so close to one another, and they've competed against each other for years at different sports, the game of football, and so there's a lot at stake here when it comes to, like you said, team pride, community pride, and when it's all said and done, personal pride.
Oxford, when you talk about Oxford, you always talk about a tough, grinded out type of offense under head coach Bud Raleigh. But Oxford hasn't had a winning season since 2014. As with what's happening with Lake Orion this year, is it finally parity? Is it the other teams, West Bloomfield, Adams, stepping to the forefront?
You know, it certainly is a lot of tough competition in the OAA Red. You know, Clarkston, Adams, Southfield, West Bloomfield. Yeah, I think it's the ebb and flow of football, though, too. When it's all said and done, there's ups and downs for every program. And I think this, you know, we've seen it this year. I think this just happens to be one of those years for these programs. But, you know, Oxford is a team that lives by the motto, we do what we do. And tonight, you're going to see heavy run game emphasis. You're going to see an offensive line that's physical, but guys that can move their feet. You're going to see an athletic quarterback and tailback, and you're going to see a fullback that's not afraid of shying away from contact. You know, that formula, as we know, for Oxford has been so successful for so long here. And, you know, they've struggled, obviously, this year. They're an offense that comes into tonight's game only averaging 14.5 points a game. And then defensively, they give up 34.5 points a game. They've given up over 30 points in each of their 5 losses. So I say all that to say, I still go back to what we said at the outset. It's still going to be a battle. The battle of the two teams in such close proximity to one another. I don't care if they're 1-5. I'm looking forward to an exciting game tonight.
In a red division, Clarkston plays at Adams tonight. Adams has 1 loss. Clarkston has 1 loss. Southfield A&T plays at Bloomfield Hills. Early in the year, we talked about teams, you know, that it'll all sort itself out. It hasn't. We've got a bunch of 1-loss teams that are playing each other. Do you see one team finally saying, look, we are going to make our move and we are going to claim the Division I title?
I think that game is probably tonight, like you said, Clarkston-Adams. You know, if Adams wins tonight, you know, they've got an easy road from in weeks 8 and 9. They play at Athens and then they play Stony Creek. So they've got an easier schedule than West Bloomfield, which has Athens tonight, and then they play Southfield the following week, and then they go on their crossover, no matter who that is. So they got a little tougher schedule. Bottom line, you know what? I wish we had like the NFL Sunday ticket. I wish we had the OAA Red Friday ticket so we could watch other games going on in action, because there's a lot of exciting games going on in the OAA Red. This, again, despite the 1-5 record for both teams, is going to be an exciting one as well.
Not only is Lake Orion on the road, ONTV is on the road with our biannual trip to Oxford. Should be a good one. It's for the AA trophy. Stay with us. Pregame is underwritten by Malash's Palace, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Malash's Palace has been serving Lake Orion's automotive needs since the 1960s. Give them a call at 248-393-2222.
ONTV's sports coverage is underwritten by Malash's Palace, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Malash's Palace has been serving Lake Orion's automotive needs since the 1960s. Give them a call at 248-393-2222 for more information. Jets Pizza, with 2 convenient locations in the Orion area. Jets Pizza has been a proud supporter of ONTV since 2009. Classic Lanes, your home for family fun and entertainment in Rochester Hills. Their 32-lane facility offers state-of-the-art bowling equipment for both league and recreational bowlers. Check them out at myclassiclanes.com. And by Lakes Community Credit Union. The not-for-profit institution has been providing financial services to the Oakland County area since 1937. Give them a call at 248-814-4003 for more information.
Just before kickoff, the Lake Orion Dragons on the road to play the Oxford Wildcats. First quarter action is underwritten by Jets Pizza. Jets Pizza, with 2 convenient locations in the Orion area, proud supporters of Orion Neighborhood Television since 2009. Just before kickoff, the Oxford band is on the field. Oxford is coached by head coach Bud Raleigh. Coach, we're going to pause for our national anthem. Coach Raleigh is in his 37th year. Overall record is 253 wins, 100
The Oxford Wildcats
and 1
marching
tie.
band.
Oxford was the state champion in 1992, and they have also had 2 losses while in the state finals. Chris, you've got your keys to the game tonight.
Keys to the game start by number 1, play a full 4 quarters. I mean, that might again go without saying, but Lake Orion last couple weeks has been very inconsistent throughout. Really, against Troy Athens, they came out and had a great first half and struggled in the second half. Southfield A&T, a very tough physical half. The first half, 16-16 at halftime. They struggled in the second half. A lot of penalties, a lot of turnovers. Last week at Bloomfield Hills, it's just the opposite. They struggled in the first half, down 24-7 at halftime, but performed well in the second half. So the ability to come out and play an entire game, put an entire game together, is going to be, I believe, a difference, or the reason that Lake Orion would potentially come out on top tonight. And then the second thing is, I think Lake Orion's got to stop what they do, meaning Oxford does best, and that's run the football. Last year against West Bloomfield, Oxford ran for 254 yards on the ground. Their tailback, Devin Hudson, had 123 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. And Drew Carpenter had 46 yards and a touchdown. And that really leads into Lake Orion's football strength. I think defensively, they are very good against the run. They only give up just under 94 yards on the ground this year, only 3.1 yards per carry. They've only given up 7 rushing touchdowns this year as a whole through 6 games. So I think, what Oxford does leads well into what Lake Orion's defense does, and that's why I think tonight's going to be a good football game.
This series dates back to 1950. Lake Orion leads the overall series, 28 wins, 8 losses, and 4 ties. They played from 1950, and they played annually until 1983. Flint went to the Oxford went to the Flint Metro Conference. Lake Orion became part of the Goal Conference, and they went their separate ways. The series resumed in 2010, and since 2010, Lake Orion leads the series 5 wins to 2 losses. As you can probably tell from some of our sideline shots, it is a cloudy, overcast, threat of rain night, foggy. The rain is supposed to hold off, and we shall see what happens. It seems that we were mentioning before the game, it seems like every time we come to Oxford, there's rain somewhere during the course of the game.
It's too bad there wasn't a grass field when that happened. So muddy and dirty, and you know it's going to be a physical game, but we're here on this blue carpet.
The blue carpet, yes. We will remind you before we get started that this presentation is brought to you by the Lake Orion High School Dragon Broadcasting Program in partnership with Orion Neighborhood Television. Live streams of games will be available all season long at www.dragonbroadcasting.org. 50% of all proceeds go back into the award-winning video program here at Lake Orion High School. Orion Neighborhood Television thanks our student crews for their hard work and dedication to bring Dragon sports to the world. The Wildcats are coming through the banner, running to their sideline. Lake Orion won the toss and deferred to the second half. Our officials for tonight, our referee is Fred Tenorio. The headlines person is Gilly David, the only woman to ever work MHSAA state final. Chris Lund is the crew chief. He's the line judge. Nick Lazzotti is the umpire, and Joe Sims is the back judge.
I can't even tell on the far side of the field if there's a good Lake Orion crowd. I assume there is, but it's even hard to see that side of the field.
It looks about half full from what I can see over there. The lights are casting, diffused light through the fog. Number 39, Parker Blust, has it teed up on the 40. Deep for Oxford is number 5, Sergio Borg. And
number 10, Matt Melnicki. He had an 88-yard kickoff return last week against Bloomfield Hills.
Parker puts a foot in it.
West Bloomfield, sorry.
End over end kick into the end zone. It'll come out to the 21st and 10. Parker Fleming is the Oxford quarterback. He's a senior. And they've got some pretty good runners as always with Coach Rowley.
Yeah,
They got good runners in the backfield.
Their tailback, Devin Hudson, solid, quick, shifty back, and their fullback was always a big, important part of an Oxford offense, number 44, Marcus Huffnagel.
Backs in an I formation, wide out each side. Toss back, up over the 27, up to the 29.
That was
Goes number 8, Drew Carpenter.
That was Carpenter, yeah. You know what? As I look down on the sideline, I see number 3, Devin Hudson, in street clothes. So obviously Drew Carpenter will get the Lions' share of the carries tonight.
So 2nd down and 1. Handoff up the middle. Carried for the 1st down. Is that Kornberger on the run?
That was Huffnagel.
Huffnagel.
Yep.
We have the PA announcer next to us, and he's a little muted. So 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Hand to the up back, number 44, Marcus Huffnagel.
Zach Foote and Sam Kinney in on the stop. From that little dive to the up back, the fullback, and Zach Foote did a nice job of stopping for a 2-yard gain.
It's been a Coach Rowley staple for years. So 2nd and 7, handoff to the tailback. He's dropped in the backfield. Number 52, Dustin Sokolowski, got in there and dropped him.
Yeah, you know, that's been a staple of what Oxford does. They like to run that power play. Sokolowski did a nice job of slashing the gap.
And we have a personal foul against Lake Orion.
You know what? And also Trevor Burke is down at about the 36-yard line. He was gimping off, and now he's laying down, and trainers are coming out to take a look at him. I don't know where the personal foul was. And that's, you know, we've talked about it in previous games. That's one thing that has really hurt Lake Orion this year. You know, they come in averaging almost 10 penalties per game, and you just can't do that in the game of football.
It had to be away from the play, because we followed it into the line, and you know, we didn't see anything apparent. While we have a break in the action, while they tend to Trevor, we'll remind you that replays for this game are sponsored by Jets Pizza. Jets Pizza, with 2 convenient locations in the Orion area. Proud supporters of Orion Neighborhood Television since 2009. Coach Blackstock out there with the trainers. Ball will be marked on the Lake Orion 48-yard line.
Those are just discipline, you know, just not getting too high, not getting too low for this game, and any game for that matter. It just, again, I don't know what the penalty was. It seemed to be after the play,
yeah,
because it was a late flag or a late mark off, and you know, that tends to tell me it was I didn't see a face mask. But it tends to me a unsportsmanlike or it's just something that again gnaws at you if you're a coach, and it just can't happen.
We're going to take a break while they tend to Trevor. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion Dragon football here on Orion Neighborhood Television. We'll be right back.
Today, Eric Almirola behind the wheel in that 43 car.
We all have a role to play here at Richard Petty Motorsports. We respect each other, work hard, and that helped us get the big win in Daytona. My partners in the U.S. Air Force also know that it takes a team to make each mission a success. Your coworkers, family, and friends are your team. Treat them with respect, and together you can accomplish great things. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
If you keep tanning, indoors or out, the effects of harmful rays will show up on your skin. Wrinkles, age spots, and an increased risk of melanoma, the second most common cancer in women 15 to 29. Stop tanning. Time may not be on your side. Learn how to protect your skin at spotskincancer.org. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Back with you. Oxford has a first down and 10 from the Lake Orion 48-yard line. Wideouts each side. Tight end lined up on the left side, offset eye in the backfield. Toss back, number 8 gets around the corner. That's Drew Carpenter. Got a gain of about 5. Jordan Lewis over there on the tackle, and Zach Foot brings up a 2nd and 6, they're calling it. Carpenter's the tailback. Parker Fleming at quarterback. Handoff, and he's dropped. Sokolowski in again.
It's the same play he made the tackle on earlier. And that same power play, they're just not blocking them. He's coming free, and he's coming in the backfield and making plays. Nice read by Dustin Sokolowski. Come off a block, boom, right there. Able to wrap up Carpenter for minimal gain.
They're still calling it third down and 6. Twins to the right. I formation. And we have a stoppage in play. The flag was thrown by procedure call against Oxford. That'll back it up 5. It'll make it a 3rd and 11. The referee, Fred Tenorio, is mic'd up here, so we can kind of get an idea what the calls are. Twins right. I formation again in the backfield. Rolling, looking, throwing. Intercepted. Coming back the other way. Number 3, Marcus Brown on the interception. And if anything, Marcus caused that because he drove the receiver deeper, and Parker Fleming just underthrew it.
He did, and I don't know if the fog is holding up that football or not, but again, not necessarily Oxford's strength, but Marcus does a nice job staying on his back hip, and you're right, the ball was underthrown. The wide receiver, Melnicki, went too deep. He's got to be able to come back for that ball. Brown does a nice job securing it, getting the football back for Lake Orion.
So first break of the game goes to the Dragons. They've got it 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Dylan Frank is the running back. Single wide out to the right. Now we get a split left. Dylan Frank on the carry. Oh. Blaze Lauer faked us out. Did a great play fake to Dylan Frank and completed it over on the right side to Sam Kenny. Good play fake here.
Held the backers there, and Kenny just does runs a little out, and close to the first down, 2nd and 1.
Twin receiver, single back in the backfield. Handoff off the left side. Dylan Frank gets maybe a yard. Bring up second down or third down and one. There went.
Evan Bruning
I
in
think
on the
they're
stop.
going to measure.
Number 84, good size.
They're calling first down Dragons.
Good size defensive end for Oxford. Number 84 makes the play. Oxford never has listed their heights and weights on
They
their.
never have.
He's a big kid.
Receivers each side, single wide out. Handoff, number 1, John Haggett around the end. He's up near a first down. 9 yards on first down for John Haggett.
You know, John Haggett, he hasn't gotten a lot of carries, but because he's been out a little bit this year, but the carries he's made big plays. He's averaging 16.7 yards a carry in the 6 carries that he does have. We do have a face mask
We
penalty.
have a face mask against Oxford, so that'll add to the run. It's a 5-yard face mask, results in a first down.
So you see Haggett going from left to right on the bubble handoff, and Dylan Frank's out in front leading. Haggett does a nice job of cutting back right there in that seam. He sees it and is able to get 9 yards and tack on the face mask for another 5. First down, Lake Orion.
Haggett comes near side. Ball's on the ground. Blaze Lauer picks it up and gets about 4 yards out of nothing.
I tell you what, I know there was a botched snap and Blaze ended up picking the ball up, but as I'm watching from the sideline here, look at the surge of the white into the defense of Oxford. Watch the Lake Orion offensive line get off the football. There's not one Oxford player in our backfield, which allows Blaze to pick up the football and get what he could out of that botched snap.
One receiver wide left. Handoff, Dylan Frank. He's got a first down or very close to it. It's a first down. The headlines person saying move the chains.
We say it all year long, but I wouldn't want to be in the way of Dylan Frank as he's coming running to you. He just runs so powerful, so hard.
He is a load. And you look at some of the if you want to call them load running backs. Lauer looks, throws, incomplete, off the hands of John Haggett, and number 8 for Oxford, Drew Carpenter, just couldn't hold on. Getting back to what we were saying earlier, the load backs that we've had, Zach Kesey, Roger Allison, all those guys that were, as we call them, loads. Dylan is in the same cut as them. I don't know if he's as big as they were. He's listed at 6 feet 205. Handoff on the sweep left. Drew Van Heck gets about 3.
Sergio Borg, number 5 for Oxford, has been in on the last 2 plays. He's the one who broke up the pass or hit Staranek on the last play. And Borg from his safety spot ends up making the tackle on Van Heck on that play. So number 5 is for Oxford is one to watch for. He's coming down hard from that safety position, making plays.
It is a misty night, and sometimes the uniform numbers are a little difficult to discern. Twins to the right. Throw to the right side, incomplete, short for Pierce Burke. Let's go down to Kevin McCormick on the sidelines. Kev?
Yeah, guys. Down here on the field, the injury update. Number 47, Trevor Burt, looks like a left knee injury. The way that they were looking at it, looked like it could be kind of serious. So I doubt that he's going to be back in for the rest of the game. If I hear more, I'll let you guys know.
Thanks, Kev. 4th down and 7. Parker Blust in punt formation. End over end kick goes out of bounds, and I think they're going to call it inside the 10.
Wow.
Where are they spotting it? They're spotting it at the 10-yard line. So Oxford will take over 1st and 10.
Parker came into the game averaging 34 yards a punt. That's his 6th punt inside the left inside the 20.
Well, during pregame, he was punting toward the south end, and this kick was one to the north, and he didn't quite get all of it. Up the middle, number 15, Joe Vaccaro, and if that name sounds familiar to some Lake Orion followers of the Dragons over the years, it is the same family as Dan and Jimbo Vaccaro, who played here in the mid-1980s. So it's 2nd down and 7. I formation in the backfield. Throw off the right side, it's complete. Complete to number 44, Marcus Huffnagel.
You're not going to see Oxford do any drop back passing. They like to roll out, they like to run bootleg, they like to run their power pass, and that's the play they like to complete. They like to throw that fullback flat, and they'll hit their tight end, they'll hit their fullback out in the flat on those rollout passes.
The fog is getting heavier. We are looking through glass to see the field. Handoff up the middle. Marcus Huffnagel on the carry.
It's one thing about
Hunter Lagerquist and Jordan Lewis on the stop for the Dragons.
It's one thing when you get to playing an Oxford game, the games are typically fairly fast.
They're fast.
Because the clock goes and there's not a lot of stoppages to play because they're incomplete passes.
Just under 3:30 left here in the first, no score. Oxford comes out, 2 wideouts. Sergio Borg split wide right. And we're going to have a procedure call. Number 84, Evan Bruning, jump for Oxford. That'll back him up 5.
Yeah, they traded him from the left tight end to the right tight end. He traded and to shift the strength from left to right offensively, and he got set for a second, and he was too excited and got the legal procedure on him.
So that makes it 2nd down and 13. Balls marked on the 18-yard line.
3 penalties already in this first quarter for Oxford.
They break the huddle, bring twins to the right, single wide out to the left. And Oxford's going to call timeout and talk it over. While we have a moment, we'll remind you that DVD copies can be purchased by calling Orion Neighborhood Television at 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. For only $10, you can get a copy of not only this game, but any game or program in our broadcast vault. DVD copies, 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. So it's 2nd down and 13 for the Wildcats. Balls marked on their own 18, 2:41 left here in the first quarter.
Glad there's a nice LED scoreboard here at the south side of the field.
That scoreboard's beautiful.
We'll be able to see it through this fog.
Rolling, looking, incomplete, thrown into the stands. Fleming rolled right, threw out to about the 25-yard line. There was nobody there.
Yeah, I mean, about 10 yards behind was Zach Sherwin. And, yeah, you're right. There was too much pressure coming from the backside. And Fleming was able he feels, backside pressure. There was front side pressure. And he saw that front side pressure and decided to get it away. So makes for a long third down play.
3rd down and 13 from the 18. Twins to the right. Throw off to this side to number 10, Matthew Melenicki. And he is out of bounds on the 29. And that'll bring up 4th and 2. And Oxford's not going to chance it. They bring the punt team out.
Yeah, they like to get when they do throw the ball, they like to get the ball to Melenicki. He's got a lot of speed. Like I said earlier, he's the one who had a 88-yard kickoff return last week versus West Bloomfield. He's got some good vision. So you get him in open space, he's a tough man to bring down. Matt Freeman back for Lake Orion. Averages about 23.
Takes it, and he's going to be dropped right there. Number 23, Zach Sherwin, came down and stayed with him all the way. Dragons to take over 1st and 10 on their own 36-yard line. And so far, we've talked about Lake Orion's penalties hurting them. So far, it's been Oxford's penalties hurting them.
Yeah, it has been. And that's, when you get into teams that are 1-5, those types of things throughout the game add up. And for Oxford, they have had 3 penalties, but they haven't hurt them severely. Still a 0-0 football game.
Bunch formation to the right side. Single back and motion this side. Up the middle was Dylan Frank. He's got a 1st down into Oxford territory.
Boy, Dylan hits that hole so hard this time, and boom, right there. Look at the big gap. He can slither his way through, and Drew Carpenter, the safety, throws him down, wrestles him down over to cross the 50-yard line. But a nice 1st down play by Lake Orion.
Dragons wide out each side. Frank again, up the middle.
Jeez.
Over the 45, down to the 43, and took a couple Wildcats with him.
See that on replay again. Boy, he does a nice job right about here. Makes a little cut, boom, right there. And then, boom, he takes, who's that he's dragging with?
I don't know.
It's hard to tell.
He stepped on him and dragged him.
And that's what we're talking about, that load running back. And we've certainly seen it so far tonight by Dylan Frank.
Picked up 4 at 2nd and 6. Under a minute left here in the first quarter. Dylan again. He stood up about the 41-yard line and dropped. I'm listening to the Oxford PA guy. He's calling the wrong side. He's calling the Oxford player carrying the ball.
Well, we know who that is. That's Dylan Frank.
This may be the Lake Orion breaks the huddle. We'll see if they can get the play off. And they will not. We've reached the end of the first quarter. No score.
It's time to go mobile with ONTV anytime. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube on your mobile devices. Connect with ONTV to see what's happening in our studio, see upcoming events, and watch ONTV programs in high definition on demand. ONTV, working to bring Lake Orion to the world.
And if the world is seeing this, they're seeing a very foggy view of the world.
I said off air earlier that the game I talked about that was so foggy way back, again, going back to the late 80s, a game in Chicago, NFL game in Chicago, playoff game. You mentioned, I forgot it was Philadelphia, but you could not see anything out there on the field. And how they continued to play is beyond me. Or maybe they didn't. I don't remember. It was that long ago, but I just remember it was very foggy. It was worse that night than here, but it's very interesting, eerie type of feeling here in Oxford.
That's the thing about football. They'll play through anything except thunder and lightning. Dylan Frank gets maybe a yard up, not quite to the 40-yard line, and they had half the Oxford defense keyed on him.
Yeah, Evan Bruning in on the stop. Thomas Wandry on the stop.
Thomas Wandry, that is another name that should be familiar to followers of Lake Orion football. Matt Wandry was a wide receiver for the Dragons in the late 80s. You can tell you've been around the program too long when sons of players are coming.
I was just going to say, you're an encyclopedia of knowledge when it comes to the players' names. That's good.
Oxford, or Lake Orion, is going to take a timeout. Just underway here in the second quarter. Well, some of the names stick with you. You know, you hear.
Lake Orion, coming in tonight is averaging 180 yards on the ground. Averaging 4.7 yards a rush. So, they're doing some things well offensively so far, and they're finding some holes. This is a big play, big decision early on in this game. Hopefully help set the tone.
You got a 4th down, and they're calling it 2, and let's say almost 3. Dragons are going to go for it. They've got Drew Van Heck split wide right in a double slot look with a motion this side.
John Haggett, and he's got a 1st down by about a yard. 3 of 13 coming into the game on 4th down. They made it 4 of 14 there, getting the ball to Haggett on the jet sweep. And again, utilizing that speed to get to the edge and following Dylan Frank and others, turning upfield. Carpenter comes again from a safety spot, gets a hand on him. Number 44, Marcus Huffnagel, also in there, but Haggett was able to bust through that arm tackle for the 1st down.
Ball spotted on the 37-yard line, 1st and 10. Dragons set up trips to the left. The tight end on this side. Tyler Vestrand on the sweep, trying to turn a corner. He does, and gets down to the 30-yard line.
Hunter Chambers and Evan Bruning, left tackle for Lake Orion, and Bruning going to battle right there. Wham! Taking care of each other. And Vestrand does a nice job. Great block by Haggett, staying on his block to allow Vestrand to spring upfield, get to turn the corner, and get about 8 yards on the play.
Ball's marked on the 29-yard line, 2nd and 2.
You can't tell me this game isn't physical.
Oh,
my goodness!
You wouldn't expect anything less. Who said they're each 1 and 5?
I guess we did. We had to tell them. We had to set the story, didn't we?
Tyler Vestrand is the lone running back, and we have a whistle.
Delay. And this is one of the things we saw a couple weeks ago, last 3 weeks actually, we've seen this delay a game come up quite a bit. And we've talked about the transitioning of from plays to the sideline back into the huddle, and it's been a constant. I don't want to say constant.
Well,
But it's happened way too many times to be 7th week into the season and it's still happening.
Tyler Vestran on the carry, makes one tackle miss, gets down to about the 31-yard line, and you know, a couple dynamics come into that. Number one, your offensive coordinator has got to be pretty much in a straight line to your quarterback, so he doesn't have to run backwards to get the play.
You know, Oxford does the same thing with Parker Fleming. He runs the sideline, gets the play from their coaching staff. So interesting way of getting plays in. That's the way it works well for both teams, I guess.
Haggett split wide left. Tyler Vestran, he's got a first down to the 25-yard line. He is so quick at making that cut once he changes his direction.
He makes a cut right here, and then he's about to take on contact. Boom, he lowers his shoulder. He knows exactly where the first down sticks are and does a nice job of falling forward to secure that first down at the 25.
So 1st and 10 for the Dragons. 9:30 left here in the second quarter. Trips to the right for the Dragons. Blaze Lauer in the gun. Handoff on the play fake to Dylan Frank. He's down to maybe the 22.
Lauer's fake was so good that he was tackled in the backfield.
Yeah.
And Dylan, before he went down, kind of banged his knee, and now he's kneeling down, and trainer's going to come out and check Dylan Frank.
Yeah, you saw when he made his move that he kind of did a hop step. And,
you know, I don't know if he was hit, but the way I saw it happen live, almost like the Dalvin Cook Minnesota running back play. God, I hope it doesn't happen. That's the case.
Let's not say that.
But it just the way it was almost looked like it was non-contact for him to go down. The Dalvin Cook Minnesota running back against the Lions this past weekend.
While the trainers tend to Dylan, be sure to tune in to replays of your favorite games right here on Orion Neighborhood Television. Tune in Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 7 p.m., Saturdays at 1 p.m. for the most current games in our lineup. Games are also replayed throughout the week, so check our program guide on our webpage at ONTV.org for replay times that best fit your viewing schedule. Also visit our YouTube link for games on demand, www.ONTV.org.
He walked off on his own power, kind of bending it as he was walking off. So
that's a positive thing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Lauer stays in the gun. Tyler Vestran set up next to him. Trips again to the left. Vestran on the carry gets maybe a yard. Down to the 20.
Yeah, the Oxford Wildcats were in there in the backfield right at the mesh point, and they actually tackled both Vestran and Lauer on the play.
3rd down and 7 from the, actually it's 3rd down and 5. The first down stick is at the 15-yard line. Nose of the football is right at the 20.
Lake Orion coming into the game tonight 30% on 3rd downs.
Tyler Vestran, he's bottled up over the 20. He's not going to get it. Got down to the 19, so that'll bring up 4th down and 4.
Number 5, Sergio Borg, and number 53, Jerome Roberson.
So we'll see what the Dragons are going to do. Parker Blust is in. He's going to line up for a 37-yard field goal from the left hash.
It's 101 from 30 to 39 this year.
Snap is down. Kick is up. Good kick. And the kick is good. 7:05. 7:04 left here in the second quarter. Dragons 3. Oxford nothing. Our upcoming game schedule, we will be back in 2 weeks for the crossover game, which we have to go to the next sign. There we go. Our crossover game, if it were played today, would be against Rochester Stony Creek. We will find out more after week 9 about who the Dragons will play in their crossover. Parker Blust has it teed up on the 40. Sergio Borg and I believe Matt Malenke are back deep for Oxford. High kick. Both the Oxford returners seemed a little confused about where the ball was, and it bounced between them and went into the end zone. So Oxford will take over 1st and 10 on the 20. The ball hit about the 10-yard line.
Is that one of those things where when you're on the field, it's hard to see the football?
It's hard to see in the fog. Absolutely. So Oxford runs it up the middle. Gain of about 5.
And Drew
Carpenter on the run.
Again, they don't provide a lot of different formations. They don't provide a lot of different looks from a scouting standpoint. I don't want to say it's easy to run scout team offense, but you know pretty much what to expect based on formation and tendencies.
Handoff up the middle. Close to the first down. Drew Carpenter. And I was talking with offensive coordinator Brad Fisher about that. He was part of the staff here at Oxford many years ago. And I said, you know, looking at the films, is Coach Rowley doing anything different than he did years ago? And he said, if anything, he's kind of contracted what they do on offense. He said they don't run, you know, they used to do a lot of play, you know, some play action once in a while. They don't do that anymore, but once in a while, he'll pull something out of his hat and you'll see a trick play sometime during the game. Rolling left, caught. Enough for a first down. Number 44, Marcus Huffnagel on the reception.
Nice roll.
Chad Dollard on the stop, amongst others.
A rollout by Fleming, and he really put the ball in a really nice spot. Only spot that Huffnagel was the only one who could have caught it. The window was very, very small. Nice ball, nice throw. 2nd and 5.
Twins to the right side. Fleming. Ball's on the ground. Dragons have it. It's still bouncing around.
Fall on it, fall on it.
Fall on it and cover it. It's still going around, and Oxford's going to maintain possession. The line of scrimmage was the 35-yard line, and Oxford's going to retain possession on the 22, and I think about 9 people handled that ball between the time it was fumbled and the time it was recovered.
Yeah, you know, that's a play, that's a technique you work on all the time. either that scoop and score or just simply cradle and get your body around it. Sam Kinney tries to pick it up and run with it when there's a pile of guys in and around. In a situation like that, you got to just fall on the football and get the ball back for your football team. You know, a big loss certainly, but boy, you had a golden opportunity to just fall on that ball and get the ball back.
So now it's 3rd and 17. Handoff up the middle to Carpenter, and he's going to get up to about the 26-yard line, and it'll be 4th down and long.
Again, I know that's what Oxford does, what they do, but when it's 3rd and 17,
you got to open up your playbook somewhere.
You would think. I mean, maybe they're just so comfortable in doing what they do, and they thought they could get it. And but there's not a lot of 3rd and 17 run plays that have a tendency to be successful.
Trey Townsend is the Oxford punter. Matt Freeman back deep for the Dragons. Taken by Freeman on the 35, and they're going to blow the play dead on the 36. He went over to his right to catch it and caught it and fell, and that's where they're going to mark him down. So the Dragons take over on their own 36 with 3:58 left here in the first half.
I think it's that blue turf that tripped him up there.
He tripped over to the 35-yard line.
Maybe he thought it was a pool of water. It was blue, and he jumped over it. I don't know.
That happened at Boise State. They were finding birds,
right,
thinking it was water and diving into it. So 1st and 10 for the Dragons. Blaze Lauer in the gun. On a keeper, dodges one tackle, gets outside, and he's going to be right at the 1st down marker.
It's a penalty flag at the 41-yard line. They're probably going to get a hold on the left edge. Again, I talked earlier about the battle between Hunter Chambers and Evan Brunning.
Holding. And usually that is one of the wide receivers or one of the ends.
You're right.
As he's turning.
And he did say number 1, John Haggett, on the edge. And if we can catch it at the top of our screen. Yep, he's pulling. Yep, Haggett's certainly pulling the jersey of Dakota Bird, number 18, and that's what they got. It sprung Lauer for the 1st down, but it's all brought back.
So that'll back them up 5. It'll be 1st down and 15 for the Dragons. Ball's marked on the 31. Lauer rolling, looking, cuts up field, and he's going to be dropped for no gain. Let's take it down to the sideline. Here's Kevin McCormick.
Yeah, guys, I don't know if you can tell from up in the booth, but it is a real physical game down here. There's a lot of hitting, a lot of popping, and this rivalry being what it is, it has been physical at every level of competition against Oxford this year. At the freshman football level, it was physical, and at the junior varsity level, and this varsity game fits right in with that. So I hope you can tell that from up there.
We can see that there are 22 players on the field. With the fog, it's hard to discern numbers. Lauer looks, throws back the other way, sets up a screen. 1st down and more. Looked like Sam Kinney on the run. Casey Stronach.
Yep, the tight end, nice little tight end screen there. Lauer rolls out to his right, and Stronach sets up the block and then releases out in the flat behind the line of scrimmage. Chambers does a nice job blocking downfield, maybe getting a little jersey. Who's that down there, number 58, does a nice job. All right, Matthew Mercier doing a nice job downfield in the tight end screen.
1st down for the Dragons. Dylan Frank back in. Got a gain of about 3. And Blaze has done such a good job with his play fakes. You know, that time, or the previous play, faked up the middle, just set up and had He had Storonik wide open on the, at the left side. So 2nd and 7. Lauer rolling, looking, throwing. Too far for Drew Van Heck.
Yeah, 10 on 10. Milnicki covering Van Heck on that comeback route. It's probably just as well that Lauer threw it high. Again, there's your good play action fake. And just a little high because, again, good coverage like are the Oxford secondary.
We have a timeout taken on the field. Timeout by the Dragons. Orion Neighborhood Television is getting ready to launch our brand new internet radio station. You can create your own podcast or radio show or sign up to become a DJ. For more information on the radio station, give us a call at 248-693-3377 or 248-693-1060.
We should start our own. What what about OAA Red fantasy football?
Well, right, right now Kevin and Sammy and Anthony Taramina are doing like an OAA Today program, and so 3rd down and 7 from the 45. Lauer under center, drops back, looks, throws, got a receiver, complete down to the 15-yard line. He got number 11, Pierce Burke, on the post pattern.
Again, I think that the play action fake allowed the linebackers to come tight. All right, good protection up front, and Lauer just got time to throw, and Burke does a nice job of getting on top of Drew Carpenter there, and a big play. Pierce Burke's 12th reception of the season.
Joe Johnson, I don't think you can hear me, but that is great camera work. 1st and 10 for the Dragons. Dylan Frank cuts it outside, down to the 10.
Number 44.
Yeah, we were just reminded by our producer-director, John Atwater, that Joe is one of the few people with a camera that is below the fog. So it's a gain of 5, 2nd down and 5 from the 10.
It's a really cool shot from this angle, too.
It's a great shot with the fog in the background. John Haggett in a slot right. He comes in motion left.
Almost.
Dylan Frank again up the middle. Gain of about 3.
Yeah, Thomas Wandry just got the ankles of Dylan Frank, and boy, otherwise he's into the end zone, and Lake Orion's got 6 on the board.
Lake Orion is going to take their 3rd timeout. We have 39 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. Chris, you got a chance for 1, maybe 2 shots at the end zone.
Plenty of time. I mean, they can still get a 1st down, which would stop the clock. So certainly there's plenty of time. And you get that 1st down, you can always, that stops the clock, but then you can always get up and spike it if you need to. So there's plenty of ways that you can stop the clock. And at this juncture of the game, especially this tight into into Oxford territory.
They're calling it 2nd down or 3rd down and 8. But the ball's on the 11, and they have to get to about the 7. ONTV is holding our annual film festival coming up this month. The kickoff event is Friday, October 13th. After films have been judged, they will premiere at the Oxford 7 Movie Theater. For more information about ONTV's Film Fest, call us at 248-693-3377. Lauer rolling, looking, corner of the end zone.
Beautiful ball.
Got it.
Beautiful
Touchdown,
ball.
Lake Orion Dragons.
Lauer was throwing to one guy and one guy only, and Haggett with his speed beat the corner right off the get-go, right from the release from the line of scrimmage. You'll see it here.
What a touch pass.
Good play action fake, and Lauer feels pressure, so he's got to turn his shoulders and set up, and he throws a perfect ball to Haggett, who beat number 6, Grant Kornberger, in the back corner of the end zone.
Parker Blust up for the extra point. Blaze Lauer holding. Ball's down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 33 seconds left here in the second quarter. Dragons go up 10-0. During this sports season, ONTV will be covering a large variety of games. Our sports coverage will include varsity volleyball, soccer, football, and swimming. Selected games will be streamed live on the NFHSnetwork.com and will be replayed on our channels Comcast 10 and AT&T Channel 99. Visit Orion ONTV for our program schedule. Well, this is one of the things, Chris, where they talked about the Dragons won the toss and deferred, and it ends up that Lake Orion may be getting the only scores of the first half and get the ball back to start the third quarter.
That's certainly a good feeling for Coach Blackstock and the team going into halftime. Now, they've played a pretty good first half. They really have, and they've been productive, obviously, offensively, and the defense has shut down Oxford's offense. So, good first half for the Dragons.
Ball taken on the 2, cut up to the 10, 15, 20, 25, and driven out of bounds on the 27-yard line is number 10, Matt Malinke. So here come the Dragons, 25 seconds left in the quarter. Wideouts each side, I formation in the backfield. Fleming throws out to the left side for number 44, Marcus Helpnagel, and the ball was just a little too low for him to pick up.
You know, I think it was a little too low, because when it's all said and done, Fleming couldn't get his shoulders turned because of the pressure coming from Jordan Lewis. And he saw Jordan there, and he couldn't attack the line of scrimmage to get his shoulders turned, so he's drifting towards the Oxford sideline while he's throwing it and couldn't get much on it.
So second down and 10, handoff up the middle, merits maybe 2 yards.
Number 8, Drew Carpenter, the ball carrier. Calculated by number 52.
And they gave a number 82 carrying the ball, but we don't have an 82 on our roster. And that's the end of the first half. Score at the half. Lake Orion 10, Oxford 0. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion Dragon football here at Orion Neighborhood Television. Halftime is sponsored by Malash's Palace, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, located at 3800 South Lapeer Road in Lake Orion. Malash's Palace has been serving Lake Orion's automotive needs since the 1960s. It's halftime, 10-0 Lake Orion. We'll be right back.
Drum Majors, is your band ready? And now, the Wildcat Band presents the music of Les Miserables.
It's halftime. The Lake Orion Dragons leading the Oxford Wildcats 10-0. And it's been pretty much, Chris, what we expected. We touched on it on pregame. It was one of your keys to the game. Stop what they do. They do what they do, and we got to stop it. And so far they have.
Yeah, so far so good. The scoreless first quarter. Lake Orion scored 10 in the second quarter. 37-yard field goal by Parker Blust at 7:04 of the second quarter makes a 3-0 lead. And then with 33 seconds to go, a pass from Blaze Lauer to John Haggett from 8 yards out made it 10-0. 33 seconds to go in the quarter. Lake Orion has 150 yards on the ground to Oxford's 54, averaging 5.6 yards a play compared to Oxford's 3. So, yeah, rushing-wise for Oxford, they've only got 30 yards on the ground. And again, that's the strength of Oxford. Well, as we said at the outset, that's the strength defensively of Lake Orion. So Lake Orion's doing a nice job of containing Oxford rushing game. 3 penalties on both sides. 1 turnover, the interception by Marcus Brown early in the first quarter. Didn't result into points for Lake Orion, but an interception nonetheless. Pretty balanced in terms of time of possession. Lake Orion 9 first downs to Oxford's 4. So Lake Orion's 3 out of 6 on third down conversions, 1 of 1 on 4 down conversions. Blaze Lauer 4 of 7 for 67 yards and a touchdown. Dylan Frank 10 carries, 48 yards. Tyler Vestran 5 carries for 19 yards. For Oxford, Parker Fleming was 3 of 6 for 24 yards. And their tailback, Drew Carpenter, 7 carries for 32 yards. So, again, we talked about our first key of the game being Lake Orion playing a full 4 quarters. Let's find out if they can play these 2 quarters well.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like you just said, and we touched on earlier, to put it all together. Now it's on Lake Orion's defense to win the game for them.
Back to Troy Athens game on the road at Troy Athens. Lake Orion's up 24-0 at halftime and dominated that first quarter, but they came out in that second half and had penalties. They were sloppy. We got guys kicked out of games, unsportsmanlike, and it ended up being a 27-6 score. But it wasn't the Lake Orion we saw in the first half that game. And so my hope is that again, Lake Orion starts to put 4 quarters together, come out on top, and carry that into next week.
Dragons will be on the road next week against Clarkston and be home in 2 weeks for the crossover. We mentioned earlier, if the crossover were held today, the Dragons would most likely be playing Rochester Stony Creek, and we will have to wait until the end of next week because this will be the last division game against Clarkston, and then we go into the crossover.
And Clarkston's down 7-0 at halftime against Rochester Adams.
Our halftime has been underwritten by Malash's Palace, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, located at 3800 South Lapeer Road in Lake Orion. Malash's Palace has been servicing Lake Orion's automotive needs since the 1960s. Give them a call at 248-393-2222. And the third quarter will be underwritten by Classic Lanes, your home for family fun and entertainment in Rochester Hills. Their 32-lane facility offers state-of-the-art bowling equipment for both league and recreational bowlers. Check them out at myclassiclanes.com. And the scoreboard for the second half, we'll get our last read in, is underwritten by Lakes Community Credit Union. Lakes Community Credit Union is a not-for-profit institution and has been providing financial services to the Oakland County area since 1937. Give them a call at 248-814-4003.
You were talking about bowling at Classic Lanes. I was watching the first half of this game tonight, and Dylan Frank was bowling over some Oxford defenders like a ball hitting some pins. So, you know, luckily he went out for a little bit. It looked like a knee issue, but he came back into the game and has run the ball well tonight.
He is one of those backs that it seems like every game he gets banged up. He's helped off the field. He limps off the field. You know, they take an aspirin tablet and tape it to his knee and send him back out, and he busts a 40-yard run.
That works? I'll have to try that.
That was the old thing. If it hurt, tape an aspirin to it. So Oxford will kick off to start the second half. Number 10, Matt Malinke, has the ball teed up on the 40. John Haggett and number 4, Matt Freeman, are deep for the Dragons. And Malinke approaches, and we're underway in the second half. End over end kick into the end zone. Dragons will take over 1st and 10 on the 20.
You know, it's appropriate that Lake Orion and Oxford are playing tonight because we got maize and blue versus green and white. Well, guess what you got tomorrow night? Michigan State, 7:30. Right. Maize and blue, green and white.
That's
the guy, as I walked in tonight, said, "You're in those ugly colors." And I'm wearing my green and white, right? And I just said, well, not to show my allegiances, but I said, I'm for the other maize and blue tomorrow night, though.
Are you?
I am.
Well,
I know. That's.
Well,
I had to throw that in at you.
Yeah, when you got two daughters and a lot of money went up there,
I know.
You become a little partial. Lauer starts out in the gun. Handoff, Dylan Frank. Breaks a couple tackles. He's in the open. He's up over midfield, down to the 45, down to the 42. On first down, Dylan Frank breaks off a 38-yard run.
Great start to the second half. You see Dylan, nice cut back there behind the block. And boom, there's the bowling ball we just talked about, and a nice spin move in the open field. And look at the blocking downfield by Chambers, by number 11, Burke. Boy, nice run to start the second half.
1st and 10. 2 wide out, single back in the backfield. Lauer under center. Handoff up the middle, gets about 3. That was
Vestrand.
Tyler Vestrand on the carry as Dylan Frank gets a breather.
Down by number 5, Sergio Boyd.
2 3-yard gain. It looked like Vestrand was a little late getting to the ball. Lauer was holding that ball out there for quite a while before Vestrand took the handoff.
Vestrand up the middle, got a first down, close to the 30-yard line. Let's take it down to the sidelines and Kevin McCormick.
Yeah, guys, I talked to some of the folks on the team right after halftime, and they like what they're doing so far. They just want to keep doing more of the same and running the ball well, and on defense, they're stopping the ball well. So look for more of the same power and read things that we've seen in the first half from the team. Back up to you.
Thanks, Kevin. 1st and 10 for the Dragons. Trips to the right, single back in the backfield. Lauer to Vestrand. He's got another first down to the 19-yard line. They're going to call him down on the 20.
Down by number 2, Jackson Myers. And that's going to be good for Dragons. First down.
Vestrand keeps it, but look at the surge. Look at Chambers come off the ball. Look at Wise come off the ball. And Vestrand can't go anywhere but following his blockers. He does a nice job of doing that, getting the first down. So great job by the left side of the Lake Orion offensive line.
Ben Gardner, Austin Finley, they're having a great game tonight. 1st and 10, trips again to the right. Handoff, Dylan Frank inside the 10. Down to the 6, first down and goal for the Dragons.
I keep going back to the appropriate read to start the 3rd quarter by you, by Classic Lanes. You're seeing him. Look at this.
Boom.
Look at, the guys don't want to get in front of him the way he's running the ball. He's running the ball mean tonight, and great to see.
It is really tough to do a spin move when you've got 3 guys around you and then shed them all, and that's what he's been doing. Tight formation now for the Dragons. Lauer goes under center. Dylan Frank up down to the 1. He did not get in.
Give the ball to the guy who's gotten you there, and they did. It was a penalty flag thrown about the 9-yard line.
Holding against the Dragons.
Now, my eyes are bad from up here, but are those flags pink?
They look like it, don't they?
Yeah.
And our referee, Fred Tenorio, has got pink sweatbands. I think this is October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So that backs the Dragons up to a 1st and 8 from the 19. Lauer rolling right, looking, throwing. Got his tight end down to the 8. Sam Kinney on the reception, and he was wide open.
Yeah, wide open. No, nice decision by Lauer on the rollout. And again, Kinney's another big player to bring down too. And number 5, Borg, does a nice job of going for the ankles, making the tackle, putting him out at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, when you're 6'3", 240, that's a load to bring down. So they're still calling it 1st and goal. Yeah, 1st and goal from the 9. 1 wide out.
Use the speed,
Haggett
get to
on
the
the
edge.
sweep.
Good cutback. Ooh.
Down to the 5. John Haggett on the sweep and made the cut, and the hole closed up in a hurry.
Yeah, I think Oxford did a nice job. They saw flow. They've scouted all week, and they know when Haggett goes in motion from right to left, he typically gets the football. And so Oxford did a nice job of setting the edge, and that's Borg again coming from a safety spot making the play.
So 2nd down and goal from the 5. Tyler Vestran in, standing up, touchdown Lake Orion Dragons. And that's how you do it.
Yeah, that's a heck of Ben Gardner. Ben Gardner with a heck of a block, and Vestran cut in behind Gardner's kick-out block, it looked like. And you'll see it right here on the replay. Watch Gardner pull, and only one guy, and boom, cuts right up in front. There's a nice block downfield on number 2, Jackson Miron. And Vestran, nice cut, nice read, nice touchdown, Dragons.
80 yards in 8 plays for the Dragons. Parker Blust, kick is down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 7:20 left here in the 3rd quarter. Lake Orion is up 17-0. Great drive by the Dragons.
Yeah, I know that 23-minute halftime didn't deter the momentum from Lake Orion. Well played, well executed drive, killed some clock. Did a nice mix of run and pass, and big plays by Frank ultimately and Vestran, and Lake Orion's up 17-0.
6, 8, 7, 9.
Once again, our replays for this game are sponsored by Jets Pizza. Jets Pizza with 2 convenient locations in the Orion area. Proud supporters of ONTV since 2009. And on that, Larry Buss and the crew at Jets Pizza at 1091 South Lapeer Road have been proud supporters of ONTV and Dragon Athletics since 2009. Jets supplies catering for cast and crew. Thank you, Larry, for your continued support. Give them a call at 248-814-7559. Parker Blust puts a foot into it, taken on the 1, bobbled, picked up, cut around the right side. He's got an opening. That's number 10, Matt Malenke. And he's dropped. They're going to call him down at the 31-yard line. Yeah, 31. It's one of those things where the returner bobbles the kickoff, and it seems to throw the whole coverage out of whack. And all of a sudden, the returner's got a big gain.
And bring it back 10 yards. Yep. Holding on the return.
So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. They will take over on their own 11-yard line. They're calling it the 12.
Their first drive here of the 2nd half.
Toss out to the right side to Malenke.
Nice.
He gets maybe 5.
And just run that little bubble screen to the slot receiver. A nice open field tackle by Chad Dolan. You know, that's the thing. You know, or Oxford's down 17. They're going to have to find a way to open up the offensive arsenal, if you will, to be able to get back into this thing. Last week against West Bloomfield, they became very double tight formation and in a power I formation, and they didn't have much success with it. And again, it is what they do, but they're going to have to try to find ways to get back in this game quicker.
Carpenter on the run. He's up to the 24-yard line. That'll be a 1st down for Oxford. Yeah, at some point when you're down, you've got to figure out, you've got to get some points and you got to put the ball in the air. But that's not the way this team is built for Oxford. Twins to the left. I formation in the backfield. Fleming under center. Handoff up the middle.
Meet.
The ball's free.
Now that's where you scoop and score.
There you go. Picked up by number 15, Chris Cade. And he takes it in for the touchdown for the Lake Orion Dragons.
you could tell from here that play was just a mishap right from the get-go. The mesh point, it's hard to tell where the ball was dropped, but the mesh point right here, oh, you know why?
Because he never took the ball.
Well, no, it was the Sokolowski penetration that forced that fumble to happen, and Chris Cage does a nice job of scooping and scoring, run it in from about 22 yards out, put 6 more points on the board for the Lake Orion Dragons.
Parker Blust on for the PAT. Lauer holding.
Yeah, credit the good get-off by Dustin Sokolowski to force that play to happen, that mesh point to not happen, to come clean.
Ball is down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 5:58 left here in the third. Lake Orion up 24-0. We will remind you again that this presentation is brought to you by the Lake Orion High School Dragon Broadcasting Program in partnership with Orion Neighborhood Television. Live streams of games will be available all season long at www.dragonbroadcasting.org. 50% of all proceeds go back into the award-winning video program here at Lake Orion High School. Orion Neighborhood Television thanks our student crews for their hard work and dedication to bring Dragon sports to the world. Well, usually they say you answer a score with a score, and if you get a score and you get another score, that's even better.
That's a good thing. They did answer the score with a score.
Parker Blust to kick it off. He approaches. End over end kick into the in and out of the end zone. Oxford will take over 1st and 10 at their 20.
Again, I know both teams are 1-5, but notice the things that Lake Orion is doing tonight that they're doing tonight that they have done more so in other games. The games that they've lost, there's been turnovers, there's been penalties, there's been unsportsmanlike. They haven't done those things tonight.
No,
and guess what? Good things happen. And you know, this is obviously there's nice deflection by Vestrand.
Incomplete pass on 1st down. And I guess if you want to say, you can see the intensity on the Dragon sideline and the way that they're attacking Oxford on the field.
Vestrand does a nice job getting the passing lane. Sam Kinney was there as well, but again, Oxford does not have a vertical passing game. They roll out, they're going to throw to their tight end, they're going to throw to their fullback in the flat. They're just getting small, trying to get small chunks, and it just down 24 now, it's just not going to cut it.
Twins to the right, I formation in the backfield, handoff to the tailback.
Boy, I tell you what, 52 is having a night tonight.
That was Joey Vaccaro on the carry, and Sokolowski had him for lunch.
I mean, does a nice job of getting off his block. And Alexander Matzek's trying to block him, and Sokolowski's having his way tonight.
So it's 3rd down and 9 from the 21-yard line. Oxford comes out, Twins to the left, single wide out to the right. Fleming in the gun. Drops it off to number 10. He dropped the ball. I think the ball went out of bounds. Jeremiah Niehoff on the coverage. And again, now a lot of teams this year have had success with that throw and catch, a little flanker screen, if you will. And that time the Dragons sniffed it out, were able to stop it. So 4th down and 8 for Oxford. Matt Freeman back deep for the Dragons. Good snap. End over end kick. Freeman follows it, takes it on the 32, cuts it upfield, makes a couple tacklers miss. He's down into Oxford territory at the 36-yard line. Great return by Matt Freeman.
Great return by Matt Freeman.
Not only did he make people miss, but he turned on some speed there too.
So far, terrific third quarter for Lake Orion, and add special teams now to the mix. Offensively playing well, defensively playing well.
He just outran people.
Nice blocking downfield too.
Lost on the handoff.
Touchdown.
Dylan Frank, watch him run. Touchdown, Lake Orion Dragons. 36 yards in one play for the Dragon touchdown. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it goes without saying. We're 4:41 left to go here in the third, but look at Dylan Frank, and look, I don't know that he is even touched. Maybe touched there. But you're not going to stop Dylan Frank on an arm tackle. You're not going to stop Dylan Frank on an arm tackle.
I hate to be repetitive, but Parker Blust is on for the extra point. Lauer holding. Ball is down. Kick is up. Kick is good. 4:41 left here in the third. Dragons increase their lead to 31-0.
You can continue to be repetitive as long as you keep saying those things. That's a good thing, Doug. That's a good thing.
It's amazing. And again, DVD copies, you'd love to have a copy of this one, can be purchased by calling ONTV at 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. For only $10, you can get a copy of not only this game, but any game or program in our broadcast vault. That's DVD copies, 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. Parker Blust has it teed up on the 40. Sergio Borg back deep. Parker puts a foot into it, and into the end zone it goes. Oxford will start 1st and 10 from their 20-yard line.
Impressive quarter so far for Lake Orion. An impressive game for them to this point in time. Certainly, again, we're 4:41 left to go here in the third quarter, but this is by far the most complete game Lake Orion has had this year.
Well, the defense has been outstanding tonight. Fleming complete to number 10, Matt Malenke. He is out near the 30-yard line.
Just run a little, they run the slot and just run a little out cut. And he's got plenty of time and is able to break that would-be tackle of Isaac Kinney. Gain a couple more yards for a first down.
4 wides for Oxford. You don't see this very often. Throw downfield, complete. Number 5, Sergio Borg. And we have a flag down on the 28-yard line. So we'll check out the flag.
I don't know if it was a hold or late hit.
See if we can get. Holding against Oxford. That'll back them up 10, which for them is a shame because they had been moving the ball the last 2 plays.
You see Gordon here, the left tackle right here, holding Lagerquist, and they got him right there on the hold. And you isolate that left tackle on an island. It's pretty easy to see those holding calls.
So first down, and they're calling it 10, but it's 1st and 20 for Oxford. 4 wides again. Fleming got someone in his face. Complete to number 10, Malenke. He went up and got it in between two Dragons and gets a first down.
So here's what I don't understand. I see Parker Fleming standing back, good, nice size as a quarterback, and guess what? That's a nice ball. That's a nice ball thrown in coverage.
Ball.
And so, again, I don't know the makeup of their team, like obviously the coaching staff does, Oxford coaching staff does, but boy, oh boy.
1st and 10 to go back to the ground with Carpenter. He gets 2 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 8. They had success throwing the ball.
Take advantage of your personnel and be able to spread the field and do some things differently. And guess what? They've had some success.
They come up in a full house again.
In the flat.
Fleming throws in the flat. Complete to number 44, Marcus Hufnagel. We haven't called his name this half.
They went to that double tight power I formation. They did it a lot last week against West Bloomfield, and they just see the fullback in the flat, number 44, Hufnagel. And boom, watch this hit there at the end by number 3, Marcus Brown, to knock him out of bounds.
1st and 10, Twins left, single wide out right, single back in the backfield. Fleming in the gun, back, looks, throws. Got a receiver, got a first down inside the 35-yard line. Oxford's on the move.
So what they've done this drive, Oxford, they've given Lake Orion some different looks. The 4 wides, the power I, the double tight formation, and they've got Lake Orion on their heels. They're mixing things up and they're moving the football and you know, it's probably too much, too little, too late, but
4 wides again, single back in the backfield. Fleming trying to set up a screen and threw it out of bounds.
No, it's completed on the sideline.
Completed?
Yep, to number 7, Ryan Miller.
I'm still looking through the fog.
Yep. Fleming in the gun just drops back to pass, and he's being pressured on the outside by number 42, Josh Wunsch.
Good job of getting his feet down by Ryan Miller. Twins left. A 4 wide look. Fleming back, got pressure, looks, throws toward the end zone. And broken up.
Marcus Brown.
Marcus Brown again. He's had himself a good night.
Fleming drops back to pass, and Isaac Kinney's forced him out of the pocket a little bit, trying to run the vertical route, and the ball was overthrown.
So 2nd and 10. Full house again for Oxford. Handoff to the tailback. He's met and dropped.
Guess who?
Sokolowski again. Drew Carpenter was met and dropped. Right there.
I hope Lake Orion's got some good footage of this game, because Dustin's going to want to use this for some highlight reels.
Oh, boy.
The only sad thing would be is if the fog was too tough to be able to not see it.
Wholesale changes for Oxford.
We're certainly seeing it from up here, and Oxford, I don't know if they've seen it yet because they haven't been able to stop them all night.
4 wide look again, single back in the backfield. That's Hufnagel. Fleming, I don't know if he's changing the play. Blitz by Lake Orion. Throws, caught, and run backwards.
Chris Cade on the stop.
Number 23, Zach Sherwin.
Yeah, this is a matter of just, you know, running an out cut 5 yards deep really doesn't do you a lot of good.
So 4th and 6 for Oxford. The ball's on the Lake Orion 26-yard line. 4 wides again. Fleming rolling left, throws to the end zone. Overthrown.
Boy, he had a step. Who was that? Number 5, Sergio Borg had a step on Chad Dolan. The ball was just overthrown just a little bit.
So the Dragons take over on downs, and in a sense, Chris, they dodge a bullet.
Yeah, they do. Fleming, it's kind of drifting backwards as he's throwing the football. Still got some good height and distance on the ball. I think Dolan maybe thought, yeah, he's not going to be able to throw the ball this far. He sure did. Yeah, so here's, again, my question is, Parker Fleming could throw the ball.
He threw a good ball that time.
Well, just this whole drive, he threw some good balls. I don't know why they're not utilizing that as part of their offense a little bit more.
Dragons come out, trips to the left, single back in the backfield. Dylan Frank around the left side, gets about 3 out to the 30, where it'll be second down.
You know, I'm watching the play, but at the same time, I'm being distracted by the students over on the Lake Orion side. They're keeping their phones and their flashlights going on so we can see what's going on up here. But Dylan tries to run to the short side of the field, and number 52 for Oxford is able to make the play.
You know, back in the day, they used to light candles.
That's way back in the day. Candles would blow out tonight.
Yeah, oh boy.
There was a holding penalty on them.
I'd like to say they used lanterns, but I'm not that old. So repeat first down on a holding call. Dylan Frank up the middle over the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Number 44, Dylan Frank, the ball carrier, brought down by number 44.
He's had a good night tonight.
Yeah, he has. They run their little draw play here. And number 80 comes off his block, and number 44 also right there. Number 44, Marcus Huffnagel was there. Number 80, Shane Brown came off his block. They worked together to make the play on Frank.
So second down and 14. Tight formation for Lake Orion. Frank again. Up the middle, near the first down. He's going to be a couple yards short.
He just doesn't like to go down.
Oh. So that'll bring up third down and about 2, they're going to call it.
A little trap action up right there. Dylan, nice cutback. Ultimately hit first time by number 52, who we, again, don't have on the roster.
And that's the end of the third quarter. We've played 3. Lake Orion 31, Oxford 0. Our third quarter is underwritten by Classic Lanes, your home for family fun and entertainment in Rochester Hills. Their 32-lane facility offers state-of-the-art bowling equipment for both league and recreational bowlers. Check them out at myclassiclanes.com. And also our scoreboard for the second half is underwritten by Lakes Community Credit Union. The not-for-profit institution has been providing financial services to the Oakland County area since 1937. Give them a call at 248-814-4003. And once again, replays for this game are underwritten by Jets Pizza. Jets Pizza with 2 convenient locations in the Orion area. Proud supporters of ONTV since 2009.
Talked about playing 2 or 4 quarters. We've played a good 3 quarters.
Played a good 3. Third down and 2. Tyler Vestrand has a first down over the 40 to the 42. They're going to mark him down on the 41. First and 10 for the Dragons.
Third down and 2 for number 32. And he got Lake Orion the first down.
Now you want to eat the clock, too.
Eat the clock. You want to continue to, move the football, continue to get guys in, continue to get more reps, continue to get other looks, continue to work on things that you need improvement on.
Lauer under center. Tyler Vestrand's the running back. He takes a quick hitter. He's up over midfield down to the 49, close to another first down.
Tell you what, the offensive line for Lake Orion has been so impressive tonight. Look at the get off, look at the surge, look at the hole Vestrand's able to slither through and keep it. Nice jump cut move there. Just took number 8, Drew Carpenter, out of the play, made him look silly, and able to get very, very close to the first down.
11 minutes left in the game. Dragons up by 31. Tight formation. Frank's the running back. He goes up the middle, got a first down and more. Down inside the 45 to the 43.
Again, look at the surge from this angle here. The white pushing that blue and yellow. There's just no penetration. And you're not going to win football games if you can't penetrate and make plays in offensive backfields.
I think that play was designed to go off left guard, and he broke it back and took it off right tackle. So 1st and 10 for the Dragons. Ball's on the ground. Haggett went in motion, took the handoff, never really had control, and Oxford recovered.
Thomas Wandry falls in the football. And those are the things that, gosh, we're just talking about such a good 3 quarters so far. And I don't know if Haggett's arm got hit by Frank as Frank came through on the fake.
I think he was past Blaze by the time Blaze got the ball to him, and he just had to try to reach back and get it. So Oxford takes over 1st and 10 at midfield. They go 2 wide, 2 backs in an I formation. Fleming looks, throws, got a receiver inside the 40 to the 38. That went to number 10, Matt Malinke. He's got a first down.
Just a 3-step drop, a little 5-yard hitch route, and Malinke knows where the sticks are and gets a first down. Nice tackle by Chad Dolan.
So 1st and 10 from the 36. Backs in an offset I. Toss back. Stringing out are the Dragons. Number 8, Drew Carpenter on the carry. Strung out by number 24, Isaac Kinney, and others.
His brother Sam, Chad Dolan was there again. Again, yeah, they just run the toss sweep, and you see a wall of blue and white, but then all of a sudden you see Kinney get there and Dolan get there and do a nice job.
Toss back. Number 13, Caleb Tabbert. And that got strung out by the Dragons really well. Number 29, Chad Dolan, chases him halfway across the field, runs him out of bounds. So it's 3rd down and 8 from the 34. Tabbert goes out after 1 play. Toss back, he's going to throw it. High throw, knocked down. Intended for number 23, Zach Schwerin. Number 8, Drew Carpenter on the option pass.
That's that trick play you're maybe talking about early on, but Carpenter throws this ball. There are literally 5 Lake Orion defenders, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 around the wide receiver. I mean, it's a 1-person route, and when it's all said and done,
he threw it awful high.
Yep.
That's the time you got to put the ball on the line. 4 wideouts. Oxford's going for it. Looks, throws, out of bounds. Dragons take over on downs. Ball be placed on the 34-yard line.
Nice backside pressure by Lagerquist coming off the edge, or coming inside there. And you know what? Fleming maybe got a little happy feet there. He had a little bit more time, and he just kind of never gave his wide receiver a chance to catch a football. You got to buy a little bit more time and give your team a chance.
Again, that's one that needed to be more on a rope than a floater. So Dragons take over, 1st and 10, 9:23 left in the game. Dragons looking to close it out. Van Heck and Haggart split left, along with Pierce Burke, make trips left. Lauer stops, throws, looks. Intercepted. I don't think John Haggett ever looked back for the ball.
No, he just ran the seam from the slot receiver position right here, the third receiver inside. And they were just trying to go up top and utilize Haggett's speed. And you're right, Sergio Borg was just sitting there reading Lauer and playing center field, if you will, and was able to intercept it. And it looks like he turned an ankle or something as he came down. So, we talked about 3 quarters of good football. In this 4th quarter, we've had 2 turnovers already.
Don't get sloppy now.
Got to play a full 4 quarters.
And, Haggett just didn't know which way to turn. He had no idea if the ball was coming to him or where the ball was. And he'll see that in film, and he'll know. Oxford. 2 wideouts, I formation in the backfield. Handoff to the tailback. Stop is number 13, Caleb Tabert. He's dropped for no gain. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Watch the linebacker play. Right there. Right there, Josh Wench. Covers linebacker spot. Well done.
Toss back again to Tabert. He's got a 1st down over the 45. They're going to mark him down at the Oxford 46. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Dragons making some wholesale changes. See number 16, Russ Hastings in at a linebacker position.
Joseph Miller under center for Oxford as well.
Oxford has a change at quarterback. And
Dion
Tabert.
Boyce. Coming from
good play.
Yeah, coming from defensive back set. It was set up, though, by Josh Wench, who does a nice job. Watch him from his linebacker spot at the top of the screen, number 42. All right? He holds him up, is about to get up, but then boom. Nice job filling the alley by number 9, Dion Boyce.
Hey, these 2nd string guys have something to prove. They want to show that they should be on the field too. So it's 2nd down and 16. Rolling out, taking the ball is number 4, Joe Miller.
Number 4, Joseph Miller, the ball carrier.
Oh, he is a sophomore. He is their hope for the future. So it's 3rd down and 12, 7:30 to go here in the game.
That was a coverage sack in that. They ran the tight end across. They ran the fullback out in the flat, and there was nobody open. And that's why Miller decided to keep and run, try to get what he could.
Number 30, Neil Nunn, in at the left cornerback position. Number 19, Noah Nunn, in on the right side. Miller in the gun, looks, throws, complete.
Nice ball.
Number 22, Matt Curtis, on the reception, and that's enough for an Oxford 1st down. Good ball by Miller.
Yeah, Miller's got time in the pocket. And out of the shotgun, he just stands there and throws. Puts a good ball on it to the outside. Curtis does a nice job of keeping 1 foot in bounds.
Logan Barrero in at one safety spot. Jack DeBrinket in at one of the linebacker positions. Blitz by the Dragons, picked up. Thrown, completed, first down Oxford. Number 24, Liam Hillary on the reception. First and 10 from the 31.
You're right. Miller had a nice amount of time to be able to throw and find the open receiver downfield. And another nice pitch and catch, 2 in a row for Oxford.
And Hillary did a good job of getting himself open. Didn't take the route too deep. Miller rolling, looking, throwing. Incomplete, out of bounds. Intended for number 22, Matt Curtis.
Miller's talking to Coach Rowley on the sideline. I think Coach Rowley wanted him to take the ball and run. I think he thought there was green grass that he could have taken the ball and run. And well, there's pressure coming right there. But threw it just a little bit out of bounds. It would have been a tough catch to get that 1 foot in bounds.
Josh McSweeney in at one of the defensive tackle positions for the Dragons. Miller looks, throws, complete, close to a first down. I think he's going to be about a yard short. It'll be 3rd down and 1. 6:10 left in the game. Dragons up 31.
Yeah, all they're doing is running some hitches on the outside and in the slot and trying to pick and read the cornerback. Is the cornerback sitting high? Is the cornerback sitting tight? And they're just reading that and throwing to one of the receivers.
And right now the defensive backfield is just saying nothing gets in back of me. Run up the middle for the first down. Ball carry, quarterback run. Miller on the keeper.
This is one of those things too. Fourth quarter, it's 31-0. We talk about team pride, community pride, personal pride. Well, there's a defensive pride going on right now. They want to maintain that 0.
They want to maintain exactly
on the scoreboard, especially against Oxford.
Miller rolling, looking, throwing, dropped. Number 43, Kyle Caven.
It's a good ball by Miller. He just throws the crossing route to the tight end, and you can't throw it any better than where he threw it.
I was watching him in pregame, and I liked what he did at the quarterback position. So 2nd down and 10. Handoff to the tailback up the middle. He's down to about the 11.
Number 13, Caleb Tabert. Ball carrier.
Run by number 13, Caleb Tabert.
Just run the lead play, power play, and does a nice job of jumping over the Lake Orion defender, Giggler, and very, very close to a first down.
Josh Wench on the tackle, among others. So 3rd down and 1. Handoff up the middle, number 13, Caleb Tabert. And he got the first down. And we have a flag on the play. Between the raindrops and the fog, it's personal foul against the Dragons. So that'll move it half the distance. Yeah, between the fog and the raindrops, it's hard to see who's out there.
That's 2 personal fouls, two personal fouls tonight for Lake Orion.
So it's 1st and goal from the 4. Oxford goes to a 4 wide look. Miller looks, throws. I couldn't see.
I hate to laugh, but I couldn't tell either.
I have to assume it
You're
was
right.
incomplete because nobody's cheering. Number 6, Grant Kornberger, the intended receiver. We'd like to look at our monitor, but that's just as foggy as it is looking out the windows here. More wholesale changes for Oxford. It's 2nd down and goal from the 4. Oxford's calling timeout with 4:20 left in the game. Orion Neighborhood Television is holding our annual film festival coming up this month. The kickoff event is Friday, October 13th, 1 week from tonight. After the films have been judged, they will premiere at Oxford 7 Movie Theater. For more information about Orion Neighborhood Television's Film Festival, call us at 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060.
Under 6 minutes to go in the Adams-Clarkston game. Adams 21, Clarkston 14.
Pass into the end zone intended for number 43, Kyle Caven, incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down and goal from the 4. And everything I read said Adams was favored to win that game. Which means Lake Orion may go in next week to an angry bunch of Wolves.
Well.
And if they play like they did tonight, it's going to be a dogfight. So 3rd down for Oxford. Handoff off the left side. Did he get in? He did. Got in for the touchdown. Number 13, Caleb Tabert, in for the score. And I knew it as much because I heard people cheer.
One of the first times you did all night.
Yeah, that's about it.
Let's run a little off tackle play and
yeah, just got in at the pylon. I believe it's Trey Townsend in for the extra point. I'll have to look. Nope, number 10, Matt Malenke. Puts it through for the extra point. We've got 4:15 left to play. Lake Orion 31, Oxford 7. Be sure to tune in to replays of your favorite games right here on ONTV. Tune in Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 1 p.m. for the most current games in our lineup. Games are also replayed throughout the week, so check our program guide on our webpage at ONTV.org for replay times that best fit your viewing schedule. Also, visit our YouTube link for games on demand. www.ONTV.org. 4:15. Dragons just looking to run clock out now.
well, you got to know that they're anticipating an onside kick. Or so you would think.
Yep.
Interesting.
Bobbled. Picked up. I don't think anybody really had a handle on it. And a flag was thrown by the line judge on this side, who was about 52.5 yards away from the action.
There was some scuffling going on away from the ball, and this line judge.
Holding on the return by the Dragons. They never really had the handle on the return. It was bobbled by both returners. So the Dragons will take over 1st and 10. The ball will be placed on the 7.
Dragons ball 1st and 10 at their own 7-yard line.
2 wide out, single back in the backfield, 2 tight ends. Handoff up the middle. Good for about 5.
Number 27, John DeBrincat, the ball carrier.
Kevin McCormick Jr. in at quarterback for the Dragons.
Well known to our sideline reporter. Single back in the backfield. Handoff up the middle. First down.
John DeBrincat, the ball carrier.
DeBrincat on the carry. Let's throw it down to the quarterback's dad. Here's Kevin McCormick.
Yeah, guys, one of the things that's really interesting about a rivalry like this is when you watch kids grow up and playing each other. On Oxford's team, number 44, Marcus Huffnagel, has been playing football against my kid, number 5, Kevin McCormick Jr., since youth football. And Kevin's in the game now, so just real proud that he's gotten a chance to play against Huffnagel in this rivalry of Lake Orion versus Oxford. So just something a proud dad wanted to say, and proud that we have this rivalry with a good team like Oxford. Back up to you guys.
Carry by number 23, Jeremiah Niehoff, brings up 2nd down and 4 for the Dragons. Just under 3 minutes left to go.
You know, kind of
Handoff, and Niehoff's going nowhere.
you kind of to Kevin's point there too. It's just like that's what makes the game of football so great. I mean, you've got a rivalry that's been reestablished in the last 10 years. You've got communities that are so close together, and like Kevin said, and we said at the outset, you know, these kids have been playing against each other in sports for really their athletic lives, if you will. And so it's more than just. It brings people together. That's why this game is so great, especially Friday night football, high school football.
Handoff again. Number 23, Jeremiah Niehoff, approaching the 2-minute mark in the game. It'll be 3rd down and 8 for the Dragons.
You know, at the end of the day, they're going to walk across, they're going to shake hands, and they might be rivals now, but they're going to be friends. A lot of these guys are going to be friends from the other team after the end of the game, and it just there's nothing like high school football.
There's going to be a few bro hugs to go along with the handshakes. Parker Blust into punt. It's 4th and 4 for the Dragons. High kick, wobbly kick. Hits on the 40, takes a Dragon bounce down to the 26-yard line, 27-yard line, and Oxford will take over with 1:13 left.
There's the Oxford stands. They are trying to huddle up and underneath the scoreboard, or not scoreboard, the press box here. So
the Oxford stands are starting to thin out. The Dragon stands, from what we can see, are still about 2/3 full.
I wish the students would put their phones back on, their flashlights on their phones.
We could tell where they are.
Right.
1st and 10 for Oxford. Twins wide. I formation in the backfield. Toss back. Got a little seam. Got some running room. Run out of bounds is number 15, Joe Vaccaro.
Yeah, I will say this. Unique field, no question about it, but they also probably have one of the best scoreboards here in the state of Michigan.
That scoreboard is fantastic.
Pretty sharp. And the great thing about it is it says Lake Orion 31, Oxford 7.
That's that. Twins to the right. Miller rolling, looking, throwing, got a receiver. Number 17, Ron Green, at the Dragon 45-yard line. That'll be a first down.
Brett Foster in on the stop, knocking him out of bounds.
Number 55, Jared Mize, checks out for the Dragons. Number 46, Luke Schmidt, checks in at a linebacker spot. Twins to the left, I formation. Number 13.
Wow.
Good balance shown by Tabert. They had him, he was going down, he shook off a tackle and got another 10 yards.
That's a heck of a run. That's a heck of a run. You see right here, it looks like he's going down. Number 46, Luke Schmidt, hauls at him, and he does a nice job of body balance, putting his open hand down on the ground to help him prop him back up, keep those legs driving, and nice run.
Number, I think they just called Luke Schmidt on a horse collar, so that'll be another 15 added on to it. That is a personal foul penalty.
Can they call it a horse collar when he didn't make the tackle?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I guess so.
Down.
He didn't go down. I mean,
and when we saw the replay, I didn't think he grabbed the collar. I think he grabbed just above the numbers.
You know, they're still talking about it too. So I just.
And that may be their point of contention is, did they get him at the collar, which would meant under the.
We're going to see it again right here. Schmidt comes over and looks to grab him. There's a stiff arm there by Tabert, and referee shields it right there, but he doesn't end up going down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they waved that one off. It's still a first down for Oxford. 48 seconds left in the game. Miller throws. Nice catch by number 6, Grant Kornberg.
Yeah, it looked like he had
Couldn't bring it down.
No, it looked like he had it, and then looked like he had it. Number 37, who we do not have.
We do not have
on our roster. Made a heck of a play and getting that hand right in between the wide receiver's hands to knock it down. This is exactly how you want it taught. You want to put your hand up, defender's hand in between the hands of the wide receiver to knock it down. Well done.
So it's 2nd and 10. Miller looking,
pitch and go,
going deep, overthrows number 17, Ron Green.
Little stutter go on the outside. They ran the slant to Kornberger the last time. It was incomplete. They picked on number 37 again. They were a little stutter go, a little hitch and go, and the ball was certainly
for
thrown
lack
out.
of anything else, we'll call him Caden cornerback. So it's 3rd down and 10 from Oxford's 30 or Lake Orion's 32-yard line. Handoff up the middle. And he kept, I think that was Caleb Tabert on the carry, and he just kept his feet moving and got it down to the 15-yard line. Now Oxford's going hurry up, and they're going to take a timeout. 20 seconds left, and again, we talked about the pride factor. Oxford wants to get another score before this game's over.
Yeah, I think they thought that they got the first down. They did get the first down, so the clock should have stopped. And
it'll stop till they reset the chains, then they'll start it again.
Right, but I think Coach Raleigh was yelling to one of his coaches on the sideline, why did we take the timeout? I think he may have, well, like you said, they're trying to get their young guys in, establish a little
Sure.
confidence, put
And
more
no matter,
points on the board. And
you know, the idea is to play football and try to get the ball in the end zone. Yeah, it doesn't make any difference if it's 31-7 or 14-7.
no, I think it does to that team in green and white.
I'm sure it does. And another flag, offside against the Dragons. That may have been, I didn't see anyone jump. They may have been lined up offside. So that moves it up to the 10. Tabert is met at the line and dropped.
Number 13, Caden Tabor.
Maybe a yard gain.
Dragons defensive line.
Schmidt in there on the stop, Burgess on the stop,
Timeout, Oxford.
And Oxford just took their last time out.
Coper in as well. Coper as well on the stop. So, 31-7. From what we saw, a lot to be satisfied.
If the
with.
defense plays like this next week, they are going to give Clarkston a run for their money. Clarkston has got a huge offensive line. They know that going in. But if the defense plays like this, they can hold Clarkston.
They've got two freshmen that start for them as well on the offensive line and one on the defensive line.
One of them is Rocco Spindler,
Yes.
son of former Detroit Lion Mark Spindler.
And he's pretty good.
He's good. So 2nd down and 4 from the 9. Incomplete into the end zone, intended for Tabert.
Good ball. They ran a little slant, nice throw, but couldn't quite tell if it was knocked out or
So 6 seconds left. It's going to be a shot to the. It's got to be a shot to the end zone. Right now, it's just cover your man. 4 wide out look for the Wildcats. Miller back, looks, throws. Caught, touchdown Oxford.
Oxford touchdown. Good Oxford.
Number
Number 12, Parker Feathery to number
22,
number 4.
Matt Curtis, on the touchdown reception from Miller. 2 seconds left. It's a good ball.
nice ball, and just lost his shoe in the as well. Or no,
He's got those gold shoes on against the gold end zone. So Miller will hold for the point after. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 2 ticks left. It's 31-14 Dragons.
Well, it's going to be a good long ride home for Lake Orion tonight.
You know what? It's going to seem like it's not long enough. That is one of the great things as a football team, when you get in your bus and you come home celebrating a win. Usually on a loss, the coaches are saying, I want silence.
Right.
When you win, you ride home. The players can yell and scream and do all that crazy stuff, and nobody cares. And tonight will be one of those nights.
Well, this will be the second road. 2 wins this season, but second road win for Lake Orion now. So, we've only got one more home game, and that's the crossover game, Week 9. But boy, wouldn't it be nice to get a third road win next week?
Yeah, and then come home and get a good homecoming win. It is a late homecoming this year. Saw number 81, Brandon Robinson, out there as one of the up men. on the kickoff, along with number 21, Philip Angelos. Short kick taken by one of the up men, number 87, Jarrett Hill, and that's the ball game. The Lake Orion Dragons have beaten the Oxford Wildcats and will take home the 00 trophy. Dragons win 31-14. We'll be right back for post-game. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion Dragon football here on Orion Neighborhood Television.
You'd do anything to take care of that spot on your lawn. So why not take care of that spot on your skin? If you're a man over 50, you're in the group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the cancer that kills one person every hour. Check your skin for suspicious or changing spots. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out what to look for. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Back up in the booth on a rainy, foggy Friday night, made a little more cheery by the Dragons beating the Oxford Wildcats and taking home the 00 trophy after a 31-14 victory. Chris, the Dragons set out what they had to do, stopped Oxford at what they did best.
They did, and we said last week, Oxford rushed for 254 yards against West Bloomfield. Obviously a very good football team. They didn't come close to that tonight. And not even total offense. And I don't have the final stats, but I'd be very surprised if they got over 150 yards total offense tonight. So yes, the Lake Orion defense was outstanding, led by number 52, Dustin Sokolowski, and others, but it seemed like we were calling Dustin's name all night long from his defensive end position. You know, they had the Marcus Brown interception. They had the Chris Cade fumble recovery, scoop and score for a touchdown. So a lot of great things that that Lake Orion defense did. The other key of the game we talked about was playing a full 4 quarters, and Lake Orion won 3 quarters. And it was 31-0 at the end of the half, or I'm sorry, end of 3 quarters. And Oxford won that last quarter. They outscored Lake Orion 14-0. Now, bottom line is a win's a win, right? As you said. But if Lake Orion's going to have any chance next week against the Wolves of Clarkston at their place, they have got to put together full 4 quarters. They can't have just half a game. They can't play just the 3 quarters of a game. They've got to play a full 4 quarters, and they're going to have to rectify that somehow this week, put together that game plan offensive and defensively and special teams wise. Clarkston lost tonight. They lost 21-14 to Rochester Adams. So as you said, if before you knew that if Clarkston lost, they're going to be, you know, slobbering at the bit, if you will, to be able to take Lake Orion on. You know, that's a rivalry that has been a little lopsided lately, and certainly Lake Orion's going to want to go into Clarkston next week and you know, put play like they did tonight, you know, at least for the first 3 quarters.
Yeah. Emotion, this was an emotional win for Lake Orion. You can see it down as we see Coach Blackstock talking to the team. Next week will be an emotional game for Lake Orion. Emotion can carry you so far. You know, as a player, as an athlete, as a Lake Orion Dragon, you've got to dedicate yourself this week in practice that we're not going to have a bad day of practice. And we're going to take it to them come next Friday night. And I'm sure that'll be Coach Blackstock's message. Look, let's go in, Let's take it to them. You know, let's ruin their home game, you know, and come back. And, you know, they have a chance for a 4-5 season.
No question.
And I'm sure that's the message. Look, let's spoil them, come back, win our homecoming game, you know, and, you know, go where the game takes us.
No question, and you know certainly Clarkson's a good football team. We've talked all year long about the OAA Red and the quality talent within this division. I don't know that I expected Rochester Adams to be as good as they are. They lost 19-18 to West Bloomfield, so they are 1 point, 2 points really away from being undefeated, and so they're holding up the 0-0. They will take that back and put that in that trophy case with pride. And they should be proud because they did play a quality game tonight. It reminded me of Lake Orion games of old where they just came out and played well on both sides of the football. And hopefully this is just momentum that they need to lead into that big game next week against Clarkston.
We will be back in 2 weeks for the homecoming game. Lake Orion against an opponent yet to be determined. As we said earlier, were it to be held today, it would be Rochester Stony Creek. We will know this time next week who our crossover opponent will be during homecoming weekend. To wrap it up, for our producer director John Atwater, for our entire Orion Neighborhood Television crew, our sideline reporter Kevin McCormick, my broadcast partner Chris Fritching, I'm Doug Corliss. Thank you for watching. Good night, everyone.